Welcome to 8 and 8.
Strength for us, we wait upon the Lord, we will wait upon the Lord, we will wait upon the Lord.
So this morning, I received a text at 6:30, simply just the song, Everlasting God by Lincoln Brewster. I know the song really well, so I didn't listen to it, and I went into my time with the Lord and began praying about what to share with you this morning. Didn't really find anything that I really felt led to do, and so I got in my car and came over here to the church. And on the way over here, I get another text from someone else. This is my friend Alice, who says, I want to just suggest a song to you, Everlasting God, of course. And so my first thought was, Lord, why are people suggesting this song? This has nothing to do with the Thursday of Holy Week, the Last Supper and the Garden of Gethsemane and all of that. And as I was riding down the road and I was reflecting on the text I had received about how this, my friend Alice had just a really challenging week praying about something for a really long time, and then God answering in his own way, in his own timing. And that song became very powerful to her. And then almost immediately, the Lord brought to my mind the Garden of Gethsemane and how the song, Everlasting God, the lyrics to that song, which of course are from Isaiah 40, describe the exact experience that Jesus had in the Garden of Gethsemane. And I want to walk through that with you. And that's what I believe God would like me to share with you this morning from my friends Lou and Alice, who texted me. And I want to point you to what happened after the Last Supper, where again on Thursday of Holy Week, Jesus takes three of his closest friends with him to this place of prayer. The Gospels tell us that he became so sorrowful and so troubled and so deeply distressed. And he said, my soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Jesus says, stay here, friends. Keep watch, pray. Jesus goes, and the text tells us that he falls with his face to the ground, and he prays, Father, everything is possible with you. And if it is possible, could you take this cup from me? But not my will, Father, but yours be done. Then we learn that an angel comes and strengthens Jesus in that very moment. And Jesus prays even more earnestly. And we learn that it was like sweat, like drops of blood were pouring off of his face. Now he gets back, and of course the friends are asleep. It says they are exhausted from sorrow. And Jesus says, you couldn't even keep watch for 1 hour, could you? Watch and pray so that you won't fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. And then Jesus says, look, the Son of Man is delivered into the hands of sinful men. Now, I want you to think about the lyrics to this song and how it just literally tells the story of Jesus. You are the everlasting God. You do not faint. You do not grow weary. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm not sure I know of another passage, even in the entire literature of the world, that describes someone who was grappling with fatigue and exhaustion and sorrow, blood pouring down off his face, or sweat pouring down like blood off of his face. I think Jesus certainly was sorrowful and troubled and distressed, even to the point of death. And yet, in all of that deep distress, it says that he was strengthened. It says that the song says, strength will rise as we wait upon the Lord. And do you think Jesus felt that strength? The song says, you'll lift us up with wings on eagles. Well, that's pretty powerful to see the angel coming and strengthening Jesus in the moment of his deepest despair. The song says, you're the defender of the weak. I don't know if you notice any weak people in that story, but they reminded they reminded me a lot of myself. They were asleep. So sorrowful they literally fell asleep and couldn't even keep watch for 1 hour. And yet Jesus, our hope and strong deliverer, the song says, Jesus, our hope and strong deliverer. It is through the garden experience that continued on through the cross. It is that prayer, not my will but yours be done, that Jesus becomes the deliverer, that Jesus becomes the defender of the weak, that Jesus becomes the one who defends those who fall asleep instead of watching and praying and staying away from temptation. It's through the garden, it's through the agony, it's through the cross that Jesus becomes our hope, our strong deliverer. The song says, you comfort those in need. Read John 14 and 15 and 16 and read about the Holy Spirit that Jesus sends to comfort those who are in need. So I'm going to sing this song. You probably know it. I'm going to do a little bit of a different arrangement of it, but I just want you to picture in your mind right now. This is Thursday of Holy Week. Would you picture in your mind Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane and hear this song in a totally new way? Remember, the Son of Man was delivered into the hands of sinners. That's what Jesus said. But oh, the deliverance that he wrought from that deliverance. He is our hope and our deliverer. The strength that we need when we are weak.
Strength for us, we wait upon the Lord. Wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. Strength for us, we wait upon the Lord. Wait upon the Lord, we will wait upon the Lord our God. You reign forever, our hope, our strong deliverer. You are the everlasting God, the everlasting God. And you do not faint, you won't grow weary. You're the defender of the weak, and you comfort those in need, and you lift us up on wings like eagles. Strength for us, we wait upon the Lord. We wait upon the Lord, we will wait upon the Lord.